Classmates.com was the first website that would qualify as the modern definition of social networking. There are over 200 well-known social networking sites today. No one knows what the future holds for the industry, but it surely will grow.
Hi, welcome to Teen Talk New York. I'm your host, Sunny. This is my co-host, Giggles, Sylvester, and Jay Boogie. Today, we're going to be speaking about social networking and how it's affecting our everyday lives.
It's horrible, man. Facebook. You know, Facebook. It's trouble.
Facebook is not trouble.
Not all the time.
It just depends on what you put out there.
You're right. Sometimes people put out too much.
They do.
Too much.
But I mean, when you say too much, what is too much whenever it comes to social networking? What do you feel is too much to post?
What is too much? Well, alright, there's one subject, alright, let's say some of the females on Facebook, for some reason, some females think it's okay to, it's an audition for, modeling or something. Some girls take it a little too serious. They, some girls, they even take pictures with, half of their face, oh, this is my good side, and then put makeup on one side, take one side.
No, listen, you know
it's
what
crazy.
I hate when girls be like, oh, no filter, but they have a full
Whole
face of
bunch of
makeup
filter.
on.
Yeah,
Shorty, where are you going?
No, that's life for you.
That's life. Actually, it's not life for anyone because before social networking, there was life, but now that we have it, it's what is it?
Ruining
Yeah,
life.
it's just
Yeah.
ruining it.
So you all
right
agree
on
that
that
it's
one.
ruining life?
Yeah, for some people.
Yeah.
The youth.
So how you feel about people gaining fame, you know how they have the Vine videos, Facebook videos, Worldstar, off of the internet per se.
I mean, the Vines are cool as long as they're funny, but as long as they're not there's Vines out there, people doing some crazy stuff. There's people getting beat up on Vines. There's Smack Cam.
Yeah.
Oh, I love
There's
this
girls,
Smack Cam.
There's girls twerking, going crazy, taking off their clothes.
I mean, but people were taking off their clothes and dancing before the internet.
Yeah, but
it wasn't
once it was
exposed.
hitting the internet, once it was hitting the internet, it was more like a trend when it was hitting the internet. That's not
That's true.
Older girls, then going to younger girls, that's
too
just
young.
Yeah,
Sometimes
yeah.
too
No. What do you think about girls looking beautiful on the internet and when you meet them in person they're
That's
regular?
catfish.
I mean,
Don't do that.
Catfish?
now catfish is when it's a bad shorty, and then when you see her, it's
That's another.
I don't want.
Okay, so she went from a 10 to a 3, basically.
Oh, that's real bad.
If she on Instagram and she's a 10, and then you see her in person, she a 4, 5, you gotta delete her.
You gotta delete her.
That's it.
It's over.
So do you
That's just
feel
not fair.
social networks would define who you are as a person, who you put yourself, who you portray yourself to be, on a social network, does that make you who you are, or how?
I mean, if you
Certain people represent themselves in different ways, so it's
yeah,
kinda-
if you compose music and you take pictures, you're real, real.
into it,
Yeah, if you want to promote yourself out of it, then it's
That's,
cool.
yeah, that's a
by
good
any
way to
means.
promote
Yeah.
yourself. and get yourself
If you're
out
into fashion, you're real photogenic, so you take certain
Lot of
pictures.
pictures.
Okay.
But other than that, you shouldn't be taking no foul ugly girls taking pictures in thongs and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, but come on now.
Looking like mannequins,
Maybe they think they're pretty, so they do that.
looking like a 10 when
But
you see her.
everyone is beautiful
I believe so.
on the
On the
inside.
Everyone's beautiful,
But
crazy.
so I've seen a lot of Facebook gangsters, Instagram
There's
gangsters,
a lot of those.
There's
you
a
know,
lot of
a
fake
bunch
thugs.
of thugs. So do you feel the way that people portray themselves to be, do you feel that gets them in a lot of trouble? Let's say that I want to portray myself to be some kind of girl that beats up anybody who likes my status, and then whenever I see you in person, I'm all oh nah, homie, nah, homie, it wasn't even like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I
Do you
mean,
feel
they
like
wouldn't understand that because they wouldn't know how you feel at the time. They'll take it seriously.
I mean, if you like that on a social network, that's not good for the social network anyway, because you just bring in like a negative vibe to it. Like you just want to like start a show on it basically.
Yeah, you
Just
want
trying to get people's
attention.
attention, and then bringing that attention. Sometimes bad stuff like, oh, you like me, oh, you said something on Facebook, I want to see you, and then
I never saw the point in when I see you.
like, oh, it's
Or
on site. Or
either
something.
that or like, oh, let's meet up and fight. Why am I meeting up to fight you
And
for?
if-
When
Yeah,
I
it's-
see you,
yeah.
then we can do what we have to do. But I'm not gonna come out of my house. It's not my warm
don't
house.
fight
Like,
for a status.
for me to
But
come
think about
outside
it.
and fight you.
But think
Make
about
no
it.
sense.
They're all fighting for status. Like,
Yeah, like they're fighting to prove something to someone.
I mean, on the
someone-
website it says like my status or comment. So if somebody does comment and you don't like it, you do have the power to take
You
it
set
off.
yourself up.
Yeah.
Yeah, people
so
set
if, like-
themselves up for like problems though. But
Especially when you know it's gonna be a negative comment.
yeah.
Those people you don't have them on Facebook. Just don't follow people you don't like.
Yeah.
Stop looking for the problem.
Listen to that guy. Well, I got a question for y'all. Like, you know, so how do you feel about people gaining fame because of social network?
Wow.
Oh, wow.
I mean, are social networks destroying relationships?
Actually, they're
Some.
not.
No, there's some.
They are.
They're not destroying relationships. You
allow them
yourself
to.
Yeah.
to. Oh wait, no. You had a point. Like it's what you putting out there. Like you
You
gotta think
allow them to
about
do it.
like what your girlfriend or what your boyfriend or whatever the case may
Seeing
be
and what
is
you're
gonna feel
saying.
about that. Like you need to be considerate about what you're putting out there. You need to think about how you representing yourself and how you're gonna represent your boyfriend or your girlfriend.
So whatever you put out there, you should be ready for the consequences that follow.
Right. So
Right.
you can't blame it on Facebook. Nothing.
There's another thing that's messing up relationships. When people put out subs.
Oh yeah, them
Subs.
subs.
I mean, if you feel some type of way, you know, you
Just-
gotta. Sometimes some people gotta vet on Facebook. I understand that, but you don't approach a certain topic and then describe it so specific that you try to bait somebody in, and then
Be like, oh no,
You
I
end
wasn't
up-
talking about you.
yeah, and then end up trying to like get yourself out of it. No, like eliminate the subs. No
Yeah.
subs.
For
Please.
example, let's say that Jay Boogie walked me to school one day, right?
Right.
Right? He just walked me to school one day. Then I get on Facebook like, oh, boys wanna walk me to school all day.
All of a sudden.
All of a sudden, like since when boys wanna walk me to school? So then now he inboxes me and he's like, oh, so why you throwing something? I'm like, I wasn't even talking about you, knowing damn well. Nobody don't never walk me to school. Never. And I
Not
never
you.
put it like that. And it was just like yesterday, but today I just want to post that. Like that makes no sense.
So
It's
would you
irrelevant.
consider that a setback?
Would I consider what a setback?
Like
Subs.
was subs?
Yeah.
Like would it be a setback for you
No.
or anybody?
No. I
Because
don't.
that could ruin your relationship with that person.
Yeah. Because at the same time, people tend to put their business.
Too much business.
Too much of their business inside of subs. Like they try to make it like a general statement, but if you're posting it, you would post it because it has something to do with you.
Yeah.
So of course we're gonna know like you're talking about.
I mean, it's cool and all, cause it is your post. You can post
Yeah,
whatever you want,
but
post
you-
however you feel. But
Still.
I mean, if it's just try not to make it like a direct status towards somebody. Like if you're gonna write something about somebody, at least tag them. But if you're not gonna tag them,
I
then
don't-
don't write the
Leave it alone.
post.
I don't see
Leave
the
that
point
person
in
out
that
of it.
either.
Yeah.
I don't see the point in that either. I don't like the whole tagging
Tagging?
and post. Don't tag me enough.
Yeah.
We not friends. Don't
Nah,
tag
yeah.
me. Don't tag me in anything.
Especially when it's the dumbest post.
Yeah, like oh hey, why are you tagging me? You're supposed to say
In
hey.
those house parties, 18 and over. I'm 17. I can't even go to the.
Can't go nowhere.
They're telling me, oh, come to these parties.
Oh,
Nah.
and the party promoting must stop. It must stop.
much.
Don't
Inbox
post on my
those.
wall. Don't be inboxing me. Don't comment on my pictures on Instagram with your little flyer. No, I don't want to go to your party.
None of that. None of that.
I'm Gucci green.
Especially if it's 18 and over, check who you're sending it to.
Yeah.
'Cause it's
Right.
kind of unfair.
Facts.
Right. They be
Because
always
you know
tempting
my
people.
age. You know I'm
Right.
not 18. So now I'm getting angry.
Yeah.
Unless you
I'm
could-
getting mad.
Unless you could
Jeez.
sneak
That's
a
some type
brother
of
in. But
But
other than that, don't post them.
Hi, I'm Earl Christian III, creator of the Urban Wall Street Project and the Urban Wall Street Young Producers Program. For me, proactivity is imperative to one's success. I say this because what you do and what you decide you're going to do will determine the outcome of your life. I recently participated in a career day at a high school, and many of the students were interested in an internship or seeing how they could be a part of the Urban Wall Street Project or the Young Producers Program. So I started thinking, how can I really help these kids? How can I give them an internship that'll not just benefit them from a production standpoint, but also financial? Thus, I came up with the Urban Wall Street Young Producers Marketing Internship. This internship is going to serve the students in a variety of capacities. Most importantly, building financial portfolios for their futures and for college. So here's a snapshot of how the program essentially would work. A student, first year, refers 6 schools over the course of that school year, from the fall through the spring. If done successfully, that's 6 new schools. From each of those schools, the student will receive into their college fund portfolio 10% of that contract. Essentially, at the end of 1 year, a student can have $2,700 in their college fund portfolio. But that's not all. It gets sweeter. Because residual income is a wealth principle, and the Urban Wall Street Project is about creating wealth, you're also going to receive a 5% residual on any of your referred schools that bring the program back for subsequent semesters. So now, schools that you referred in your 9th or 10th grade year, if they're still bringing the program on when you're in 11th and 12th grade, whether you've moved on or not, because once a young producer, always a young producer, you're still going to earn referral fees. So that could essentially put your allocation into your college fund of over $15,000. The key is start your life on a good financial track, be proactive, take advantage, and beautiful things can happen. If you're interested in learning more about the Young Producers Internship Program, check out some of the information to follow. Reach out to us at info@youngproducers.tv.
Welcome back to Teen Talk New York. In case you missed it, we was talking about social networks and how we felt on it. My advice to everybody out there on social networks is to be careful what you say, because it can hurt people and it can also get you into some crazy situations that you don't want to be in.
My advice to everyone on social networks is to be yourself.
Be yourself, boo.
Just be yourself.
Yeah, just backing up to what they were saying. They just, it's crazy out here, so.
Yeah, it's gonna feel.
It's real no matter what.
Yeah.
Till next time.
Until
Tune
next
in.
time.
Teen Talk NYC.